I need you to go back over there.
No.
No, because or get your headphones. They're on the table right there.
No.
Listen, little boy, get your headphones. I
No.
don't want to hear your iPad. What's the problem? They're right there. My child is losing his mind today. Me too. Taylor, talk so I can see if it's only Joe's that sound like that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Joe, you sound like robotically muffled.
Chirping in my background, so I was trying to be muted. You know my favorite place to take my coffee break.
I cannot with you in this window. Bring so much peace. Hey, Yanni.
Oh, it's the birds, it's the water. It's a little hot. Blinds closed.
Better like this?
Yeah. It's better now, yeah.
Okay, I won't use my AirPods then. Lemon has hers on. So we can be free.
Today's Tuesday. Do you know what we're supposed to be doing tomorrow?
Don't
I do that.
And it hit my heart like a bad like you know like a pain.
Yanni, we were supposed to be going to Puerto Rico and not even somewhere. We were gonna go to New Orleans.
It got domestic real quick. Like it went from farther to closer to closer.
We tried every country. Nobody wants us.
Nobody wants us.
So sad.
Crazy.
Hashtag Leghetto. I'm about to start applying for citizenship in every like tropical.
Hi Annabelle, I'm Joanne. No one introduced us.
Hi.
Sorry.
Man, I'm so sad for you guys.
We're sad for each other.
We were just trying to get in, the last hurrah.
I'm still going. As soon as they open up them gates, I'm out.
Going somewhere.
Oh man.
I'm going somewhere.
My little sister.
You're going somewhere.
Get out the house.
Well, you know where I'm actually headed in September, so
exactly, which is why I'm still going to Puerto Rico.
She said catch me before then.
You need
Heard
to
you.
get the testing.
You picked up what you were putting down?
What did you say, Yanni?
I said all you need to do is get the testing 3 days before. Also, I know a couple of places, so holla at me because it will be like when I went, I did like a cave. And then you got to go inside the cave and you get to see like the carvings of the Taino Indians.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there's like a couple of places, like there's restaurants where you could get your first place that the pina colada was invented.
Oh, La Isla Bonita. I want to go.
So there's like a couple of places, like if you're hiking or anything like that, I know a couple of places and restaurants too. So holla at me.
Yeah.
I was over here I'm like, yo, I need to plan a trip right now because tired of being here.
Yeah.
Depressing.
That I understand.
Hi, Fadia.
Hi, ladies. What's going on?
We here. Fadia, I didn't look. Are you at work?
I am at work.
Oh, okay.
Back to that.
I wouldn't be mad if you didn't go there. Wouldn't even be mad.
I got enough rest yesterday. I feel good.
You got what you needed.
Yes, definitely did.
I am just trying to share this in. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to share.
A few moments of the day where I said completely silent.
All right. So, how we doing today?
I'm actually doing pretty good. What about you guys?
I'm just peachy. It's the last week of full freedom. I'm not gonna say like not freedom at all, but full freedom for me to do what I want when I want without any consequence. So, because I can still do what I want, because I'm grown. But anyway, so I literally planned a week because I wasn't supposed to be here from Wednesday to Sunday. So I had to like go in my planner and find something to do every day. So today vibes is lunch with my best friend Lauren. And then I have a virtual meeting at 7:30 that I'm gonna listen into for the key. But yeah, it's good vibes today. I think I'm gonna go for crab legs or lobster.
Good day for crab legs.
I'm waiting for
Today's a good day for crab
waiting
legs.
for the invitation.
Oh, sorry. It's just a me and Lauren thing. But Fadia, girl, you got my number. I'm waiting on you. And I'm still waiting on you for you to accept my challenge.
I did.
She want the smoke.
Oh, it didn't alert me. I body Tanya yesterday. She didn't know what hit her.
It was a day for me. I let you have to. I
For
sent
those
it.
who don't know, Tanya is my mother. She's very young. Please do not be fooled. And she thought she was going to challenge me on my Apple Watch. And I sent her that smoke. Do you hear me? That smoke.
How do I?
The cat was yesterday. I washed her. It was the last day of the competition. I could have went easy. I washed her yesterday.
Let me see what you're talking about, Taylor. Let me see what you got going on. Because I'm looking at all right.
This is hilarious.
After this, I'm waiting for my next victim. Who's trying to get washed? I've been washing people for weeks.
This is hilarious.
Accept. Can I just hit you with the heat?
Can we just highlight before we even
I'm
continue?
not accepted. Sorry.
Right. Like how important community is, because the joy that is in these challenges right now, y'all are crazy. I support it.
I'm waiting on you. Every time I send Courtney one, she never accepted.
I never accept her challenges because I'm not going to be consistent right now, and I know myself.
Washed
I'm
up.
waiting for you to accept. That's what it
Yeah,
said.
but
It
you
said
want this word? You could get washed up too. Okay, let's do this.
I have
It's waiting
not
for
worn
you.
my watch.
It's done.
I got
Accept
back
it.
from Jamaica.
Challenge.
Oh,
Accepted.
Y'all
go.
Wait, you accept mine, right?
I didn't get one from you. I got one from Joanne.
It says it's waiting for you. That's what it said.
How was it waiting for me? I sent you one yesterday.
Y'all are out of control.
I'll look at it on my phone because on this, I don't know. I'm still learning I'm still figuring this out.
Y'all are out of control.
All
right.
If
So
you didn't have an Apple Watch, they on sale for $169 at Target this week. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can get this work too. My name is Taylor Yvette on Facebook, just like it is in the caption.
oh my gosh, Taylor.
Taylor,
Want the smoke?
you know what? I got you this week. I got you the rest of the week.
Want to see it?
7 days.
She's
Oh
coming.
my gosh. Taylor is hilarious.
Check.
She said, if you want this smoke, I got it for you.
Get it.
All
My
right.
name is spelled the same way as it is on Facebook. You can add me. Got that fire for you.
So, hello, good people. Anybody who's on Facebook. We're only streaming on Facebook right now. I didn't choose YouTube. We'll post on YouTube. Guys, I did a thing, and the thing was, I sat here and made sure that I posted the recording. That is it.
You did more than a thing. You did a lot yesterday. Like
I did a lot, and so honestly, today I'm tired. Like I am tired today. I woke up tired. I think I did too much yesterday. It was a lot of sharing, and I don't think I realized the energy that sharing would have taken out of me, or facilitating that particular conversation that is that personal to me. So I got so many feelings. But this morning I woke up. I was like, all right, do that morning startup routine that you're supposed to do to get yourself together and make sure that you have yet another creative and productive morning. Didn't happen because I woke up, I brushed my teeth, but I felt it was one of those waking up moments where it's like, I need a nap. Like how you wake up and you feeling like you need a nap.
Right.
So I got up, came downstairs to start yoga, and unfortunately, due to devices dying and all of these things, yoga started late. Yoga's supposed to be at 7, yoga started late. It's cool, life happens. So I'm getting into yoga. I'm like, oh, these poses hurt. But then I hear Aiden wake up upstairs. I'm like, all right, can we make this a 30-minute session, because I don't know when he's gonna come down. He comes down within a couple of minutes. I'm like, all right, it's open. And then starts cutting up. Like he's doing things everywhere, wanting juice, spills the juice. I'm like, you know what? Yoga's done. I gotta go. So I tried to start my morning off on the right foot, wound up turning on the TV so I could watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and then eventually drank my tea. But I never got it together. And I was like, Damn. I was just talking about this yesterday. I was just talking about this yesterday. I was just saying that I'm on the up and up. I'm coming out of it. But this is a testament to how it is a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster. And this is why it's also so very important to give yourself grace during times like these, especially when you're feeling it, and not to rush the rest, not to rush whatever you're doing to like recoup or rejuvenate yourself or any of those things. So just a couple of quick updates. I dropped the link to the Facebook group in the chat for those of you who are joining us in the actual Zoom for the first time. The Facebook group will be the fastest. I'm praying it will be the fastest way for me to communicate to you the changes that will happen with Breaking Ground as far as when the schedule changes take place, because we are going to pivot to evenings or nighttime. Once I resume work, I really did not know y'all were looking for evening time. Well, Taylor, I knew, but like the excitement surrounding evening time sessions of Breaking Ground, it's just so
Doing
great.
this with a beverage in my hand is going to be just so more appropriate in the nighttime.
Listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all, we're pivoting to Breaking Ground, the wind down. That was always the plan. That was what it was.
I wasn't ready.
The wind down. We shifted from the coffee break to the wind down. That's just the reality of it.
That is good.
Here we are. So yeah, today's a particular struggle for me because I'm forgetting things. I was supposed to record a testimonial for a program that I partnered with, forgot about it. Aiden had swim lessons. The people there were pissing me off. So I was irritable today. Woke up irritable, moody, just all over the place. And I'm like, I want nothing more than a nap. So then we finally get home around 12:20. I'm like, I can't even take a damn nap. Let me send this email about Breaking Ground and let people know and say, hey, boom, here's the link for today. And here's the replay from yesterday, because y'all need to see it. Like yesterday, I'm proud of yesterday. Yesterday was a word. Yesterday, I saw so many people being transparent and opening up and getting things out and really connecting on a different level. And I received so many messages from people. This is me like acknowledging that win, even though I'm feeling like basura, like me acknowledging like yesterday was a good thing, and these are the conversations. It was very affirming. Like these are the conversations that we need to have. And people need to stop trying to fix stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I came across an article because I'm like, all right, what exactly am I going to talk about today? Because yesterday was exhausting. What am I talking about today? And what came up, which is what I felt like hit my heart, was, am I depressed or am I lazy? I have times where I feel like both. Yes. Yep. Joanne gave the face that I made when I saw it. I was like, ooh, let me read this. Am I depressed or am I lazy, right? So the times when I call myself lazy is when I'm looking at like the surface stuff, or when I realize that my spaces look crazy, right? So my car, for example. Courtney, why are you not just taking this garbage out the car? Why are you not getting these Dunkin' Donuts bags out the car? Why are all of these Dunkin' Donuts coffee cups partially drank or fully drank in the car still? Why are they there? Is it laziness? Is it depression? Is it, let me just get inside? Like, so one of the things that, first, before I go into that, has anyone, and you could write in the chat, you could share out whatever, has anyone questioned themselves in that way when they felt as though they had a low mood, when they were going or struggling with depression or a depressive episode or experiencing a depressed mood? Have you ever questioned yourself whether you were being lazy?
I'll go ahead and speak on it. I think that's like, it really resonated with me because my depression and my laziness kind of look the same. but it's a little like I can identify it because it's slightly different. So when I'm just being lazy, I just don't do things, don't put things back. But when I'm depressed, it's the combination of that and then also just going to sleep. So it's literally like, normally if I'm just lazy, I can't sleep knowing that I have these things to do. It's like all night, like they're in my head. Like if I don't work out, like I can hear the tape in my head, like telling me what to do. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, let me just get up and do it. So it's like, but when I'm depressed, it's like, I don't care that it's not done. It's like, I will literally, there'll be a pile of clothes in the bed and now guess what? I'm going to go sleep right on, literally right on top of the clothes. I'll use it to place my leg on top of for a more comfortable sleep. So it's not funny.
It's not, but it's easy to laugh about when you're visualizing it.
It's important that we name that they can look similar, so that way we can for ourselves identify which is which. And like I know I've told Courtney or Joy before, I'm like, no, like I feel myself going into this funk. I need a change of scenery, and it'll be either if I'm at my parents' house, I'll leave my parents' house to come home, or if I'm home, I'll go to my parents' house or go somewhere else to get myself out of that funk so I can camp and get back to where I need to be.
Yep. And I think that is a great example of how it can show up in toe the line, right? Because Joe, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say for me, depression looks different because I'm a mom and I don't have the option of just like getting up and going or like, and or just like having different modes of coping mechanisms. There is one way, and that's just to bear down and get through it. And I'll be the Christian of the group and say like prayer does break chains and it does like elevate, but it also coincides with meditation and really just like locking myself into a bubble. And for me, depression looks a lot like exhaustion. Or just like if I'm overwhelmed, I'm just like sitting like a noodle. Like there was a time, I'm not gonna share how old my daughter was, but she was fully functional, that I think for about 2 years, it was like a cycle. Drop her off from school, go home, sleep, pick her up from school, make dinner, sleep. It was like very, very mechanical, and it's scary because that can manifest in a lot of different ways. And for that time that I was stagnant, so was my career, so was my spiritual life. Like everything came to a halt because I was just like almost obsessed with that feeling of being depressed. And I say like depression sometimes is in some form idolatry, because you almost like focus on the problems and the lack and the unknown as opposed to the solution and bearing down and getting out of it. That's how I look at it. So like for me, it was like letting go of the obsession of like what's not conducive, what's not healthy, what's not normal, and really tap into how do I like, what's the best outcome for the situation. The best outcome is me getting up, me taking a shower, me playing Just Dance for a few, you know what I mean? Even though I don't want to, and probably watching a movie together, or like, listening to our favorite music while we both do dishes, like incorporating her so like I'm not alone too much with my thoughts, and not looking at it like, oh, I have a burden of a child. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of just like tricking my mind to be like, okay, here I am. This is what it is. But this is the reality of it, and just like looking outward as opposed to looking inward. But it's tough. It's tough, especially when you don't have a coping mechanism, when you don't know what would make anything better. I had to learn these devices over time, but it came with a learning curve. In my early 20s, it was a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, because a lot of things were just up in the air. I mean, I had a safe roof over my head, but I didn't feel stable as a woman or stable as a mom. I was just 21 years old when I gave birth, and that's nuts. I couldn't even legally have a drink, but I was making bottles, and I had a whole apartment to take care of and a whole life. And it was when my daughter was 4 years old, I'm moving with my parents, and that load started to lift. Like I needed the help. I had to outsource for support. I couldn't give her the family dynamic of a husband and a wife. So like I went to my parents' house where they're still having that covering, and they still give that example while I'm still like trying to find my balance. And it's a struggle. There's some good days and there are some bad days, but I show up because I have responsibilities, but I also am responsible for myself.
I really like the perspective that you shared. Can I ask, did you experience postpartum?
I didn't experience it right away. Now that I'm out of it, I can categorize it as postpartum has delayed reaction. Sometimes you go through in your final month of pregnancy. I didn't experience postpartum until my daughter was about maybe 2 or 3 years old. I was just running. I pushed her out and was just running and running and running, going. And there was when I lost my job, and I like not lost my job. I had to quit my job because I was like, this is not working. I can't go to daycare and run to work. Like I did a lot of running around, and I was burning the candle at both ends. And when I finally decided to not work and focus on getting a balance and a system going with my child, that's when the anxiety and depression hit me like bricks. Like there's nothing else going on but my child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it hit me. It hit me. I was like 23 years old.
Yeah. Thank you for your transparency and for sharing that.
Yeah.
Woo. What we got, y'all? What we got? Okay, so am I lazy or am I depressed? Kind of what Taylor was, one of the things that I picked up was the choice that is there. Laziness is a choice. You can choose to say, I'm not going to do it. Whereas depression, I feel like I can't, but I don't care. And that's where, it's like I know I need to, but I don't care, or I don't have the energy, I don't have the will. And that's where that example of the clothes on the bed and propping yourself to lay on them and go to sleep, that resonated with me because it's happened so many times before. And I know from the outside looking in, it's easy to say that a person is being lazy. But if you don't understand what's going on in that person's head, or if you don't understand what's going on around that person, it's very hard to judge, or it's easy to say, rather, why don't you just clean this up? I know I should. I know I want to. But guess what? Last night, all I could do, because I know I said I was going to clean either the bed clean the room or the car. Neither happened. And the crazy part was, prime example, this morning I'm walking outside. I'm taking out, and this is after I lugged Aiden's car seat into my mom's car because I had to. After that, I'm like, all right, let me go get our masks because we were going to his swim lesson. Let me go get our masks out of my car so I could have them and we could go inside. I'm going out the front door. There was a small bag of garbage, like a regular size plastic bag, shopping bag of garbage at the front door. I kicked it and I was like, oh, pick it up, Courtney. So I picked it up because I wasn't going to pick it up, y'all. I promise. I picked it up. I took it out. Before I had to pass my car to get to the garbage. So I stopped at my car to get the mask. Y'all know one of them Dunkin' Donuts bags, and this is me reflecting on it now. One of them Dunkin' Donuts bags fell out the car and I threw it right back in the car. I ain't take it to the garbage with me. So this is me like really showcasing to y'all. It's real. I don't know if that was lazy. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to be leaving the house. I didn't want to do. So it didn't make sense to me in that moment to take up the one Dunkin' Donuts bag that fell out and leave the other 3 plus Wendy's and McDonald's, whatever empty bags are in there. I don't know what's in there, honestly, but it didn't make sense to me to leave that there. But one thing that Joe was going to highlight, because I don't want to stay in this space, right? That's the important part. And that's what Joe was starting to highlight. Moving, trying not to stay there, which is why I'm continuing to try to create the routine of getting back into movement. Because I do want to get back to my actual fitness schedule and not just yoga. I want to start working out again. I got these love handles that I want to go. I feel like they're not supposed to be there right now. So there are things that you can do to get moving, and these are things that I typically do. One of them, like Taylor said, is a change of scenery. Traveling. Where are you going? That's why I was, even though I had just come back from Jamaica, it's like, I want to leave again. Get me out of here. Whew. And I keep telling myself, and this is me setting myself up, but I keep telling myself, stop committing to new things. Stop signing yourself up to do things so I can actually get that break and ground myself in the things I need to be grounded with without adding new things on. So what is preventing even New Orleans, because that was supposed to happen. What prevented that was another commitment. I had made another commitment and had to do a recording. And even that is frustrating. It's like, I just want to throw it all away. Let me cancel. That wouldn't be fair because I like to keep my word on stuff and follow through. But that's just where I am. So traveling is something that could switch it up. Getting a proper amount of sleep. I've been so focused on seeking joy and trying to laugh because I've been feeling just blah. That I'm staying up scrolling social media or scrolling TikTok and just laughing aimlessly, trying to get that joy, but it's keeping me up at night to where I'm not even getting 8 hours of sleep. Because now he's climbing into my bed, waking me up. He being Aiden, yeah, the little person y'all couldn't see there. Waking me up in the middle of the night. Then I'm waking up too early, not going back to sleep because it's like, ooh, let me get some peace and quiet to myself. I might be averaging like 5 to 6 hours of sleep, but it's not actually REM sleep. I'm not getting a full night where I'm actually resting. What else can you do? Schedule, routines, vitamins, sunlight, things like that. And then trying to keep the positive thoughts, but it's hard when you have unmet goals that you're trying to reach. So I could go on about that all day or whatever. But I wanted to throw that out there a little bit because you could toe the line of laziness and depression all the time. What are we thinking?
Well, I know for me personally, like I do internalize it. Like I do feel like, maybe I'm just lazy or what have you. But I know it plays out differently for me. Like I procrastinate a lot. So it's like I'll have my to-do list and everything, and it's on the wall and I know what I need to do. But I think it's also a part of it for me is also the fact that like some of the things that I'm doing, like I don't necessarily like believe that I can do them or that I should be doing them. And so like I end up putting it off. And like that stresses me out too. And that builds like my anxiety. But I feel like it's self-inflicted because if I just like spent the time to, really plan it out and gave myself the time to prepare, like for either speaking engagements or presentations or even like writing, then I wouldn't be stressed out or I wouldn't have that anxiety. But I don't know. I always procrastinate. I've been doing it since like college. And I think me doing that because it always turns out well, I still like I skate. You know what I mean? Like I skate, I coast because I still always like did well. Even in high school, like I didn't really study, but like I still did well. Like I wasn't exceptional, but I still did well. And the thing is that I know that when I do spend that time and I do turn my assignments, and I did turn like in grad school, like I remember getting a B on something and the teacher was like, you would have got an A, but you turned in late. You know what I mean? Like, so that type of thing, like I know like I am exceptional and I know that I do exceptional work, but because I procrastinate, I feel like I'm keeping myself at a level of, to me, is mediocrity. You know what I mean? Because because I do well, period. And so like I could be doing exceptional if I just spent the time and put in a little bit more effort to be doing that. Oh, Shannon says she feels so seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's important though. Feel seen. I see you, Ty. Because so here's the problem, right? Or not the problem. Here's the perception. Black woman of color, you see us coming to work, you see us, it creates spaces like this, you see us doing all of the things, not knowing what is going on under the surface, or not knowing what it took to get there, what it took to show up, even Let me tell y'all, I almost I wanted to take a nap so bad in this spot. And it was a fight to even pull the laptop out and open it and say, okay, I gotta set up. And then I have to facilitate an interview at 2:30. Like all of these things have to happen before I can rest. Before I can close my eyes. And then by then he's not even gonna be tired. So that is what it feels like. That is what it looks like. Um Mommy? Yes. Can I put outside? Not right now. Can I put outside? Can I put out? Can I ride my bike?
And so like
Right
I'm
now.
getting ready to restart like a program at Rutgers. Let me take this off for a minute. So I'm getting ready to like restart a program at Rutgers or whatever. Because I'm switching my grad programs. Make a long story short, like I started my nonprofit management master's or whatever twice. First time I withdrew. Second time they were like, all right, sis. This was when I was pregnant with Rosie, and like my last semester that I was there, I was in my last trimester with her, and I was falling asleep, like writing papers and things. And so I'm getting ready to start something new at Rutgers, like a dual program, and I don't want to go into it with that same mindset. So if anybody on here has any like tips or strategies for me, like I would love them, because I don't want to go into it. Like I don't want to be mediocre in this program. Like I want to be exceptional. I want to really do my best and shine. And I'm going to be paying out of pocket. So I can't afford to because once they kick you out of school, like you could go back to school, but ain't no ain't no financial aid.
Right.
So
Got it. But I even hate saying that because it doesn't acknowledge how you're feeling, right? So you have to figure out what's gonna motivate you to continue showing up for you, because this is something that you want to do. It's something that you want to do, and it's something that you know that you are good at. Taylor said she got you, so I'm interested to hear what you got. What you gonna do, Taylor?
Well, one thing, Ty, we could sit down and like talk about this offline even further. But one thing is like identifying like your passion. Like I feel like passion drives us. So it's like, kind of like you, Ty, like I am one of those people, like when I told you, I said, you are your own worst enemy, like, cause that's me. Like me, I sabotage myself. Joe is a self-sabotager too. So is Courtney. We all self-sabotage, and Fadia too. She's not on the camera right now, but I know she's listening. And when I had, and I'll send it to all of you because I got it for free. Don't tell Steve Harvey I got his book for free, but I got it on PDF for free. Act Like Success, Think Like Success. It talks about finding your passion, because when you find your passion, I know she came on camera to get me. Hey, girl. When you are passionate about something, even if some days you feel lazy, it's like that constant desire to drive. So, right now we all know that my passion is like my health and fitness. That's like my one of the 8 dimensions of wellness that I'm focusing on, that I've been focusing on all summer. So it's like I constantly find ways to engage myself even on my lazy days. And one way I do that is with competition. I wasn't really competitive as a kid, but for some reason as an adult, I'm extremely competitive. And one thing that drives me is hyping people up to compete with me. And once everybody else is hyped to compete with me, I go harder and harder every time. Because when I tell you I wanted to take a break yesterday, I so wanted to take that break yesterday, because I know my mother was going to work out. I wasn't going to do that. Exactly. So one thing that helps is to find your passion. I know you're passionate, Ty. I know, I see it every day. And but finding that core passion and realizing what you're doing is helping you leading in that, like walking in that, that's what most of the time will help you. And then also just like bite sizing, it helps too. So it's like when I was in school, I went for my master's in the art of teaching. And my first year, they could not get me to do that online work for nothing. Like they could not get me to do it. So literally I was coasting. Like I would manage my B. I had got put on social probation. I mean, not social probation. Oops, child. Academic probation, because of my, like, I was not doing my online work. I would come to class, I would eat, everybody's like, oh my God, you're doing so great. My classroom looks great, but my online work was completely, I would not do it. I just would not do it. I just could not find the drive to sit on the computer after working with all day and doing outside business and everything else, trying to live a decent life. And then all of a sudden I got to come home and sit on this computer for another hour or two to do online work. I'm not doing it. And I would tell my teacher, I'm like, I'm not doing it. Like, it's not going to happen. And then like finally at the end of the semester, I will like all bust it down in one day because I had to do it. But my second year, once I was in a space where I was like, I am here, I'm arriving, and this is the final step for me to continue doing this work, which I love so much, which is teaching these Black and brown kids science. It was like, boom, get it done, get it done, get it done, because it was like I was driven. It was like, I'm here, I'm passionate, I'm happy. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it because this is what's getting me there. What I was being taught in my second year was speaking to my passion about science. So because every day, no matter what we were learning, it was science-based content, I was so passionate that it just drove me to get everything done. And here we are today. I graduated a year ago.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go, Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor. And I'm gonna hit you up.
Girl, hit me up. I got you.
Ty, I feel you with the mediocrity. What I identify it as is playing it small. Well, just doing enough to get by. And when I play it small, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for my finances, dangerous for my spiritual life, my emotional life, my like everything. It all trickles down. And because I'm a former self-saboteur, I'm stepping into this new challenge where it's very easy for me to walk away or break friendships or break relationships or anything. So I'm challenging myself in my personal life to do something that I thought I would not do, which is like, we're going to talk about another time. But I'm being brave because Taylor said something yesterday about being happy, regardless of what it looks like to you, be happy. So if I'm happy in the space, I'm going to give it all that I can. Not walk away because I got an exit sign. Not walk away because I see an open door. I'm going to stick it out and see and give myself some gratification. So I'm going to like receive love in a different way that I never did before. And I'm going to work it out. I'm scared out of my mind, but I got me, I'm brave. And whatever happens, happens. I'm going to be dope. I'm going to be fine because I'm going to succeed at this because Taylor said that last week, like, if I can't get a handle on my personal life, it's going to seep into my professional life. And if I'm so like in balance in one way, it's going to seep into other things. Not because a man run my life or not because I'm like man crazy. It's about my emotional balance. And I need to create balance across the board. Money is good. Health is good. So I'm going to give that attention to for the balance. And I had to learn how to do that because I was playing it small. I was playing it safe and I was playing it small, doing enough just to get by, doing enough to, and that's essentially what mediocrity is. And as women, we're taught to be complacent and to make concessions. Like if you're not feeling bad, still show up to work. If you have a headache, you still gotta go on. Oh, you don't like your job, you're just being a brat. Get down and do it. But if we're fair to ourselves and do like these assessments and these self check-ins or like communal check-ins more often, we can really say, hey, you're not crazy. I go through that too, girl. This is what I did. How are you feeling today? How can I support you? What's going on with that? Or like, tell me your symptoms. And sometimes calling a thing is like releasing from your body. And Courtney, you say you feel drained today because I really believe that releasing that made room for other stuff. So now your body's recalibrating that space. You know what I mean? So you need a little time to settle in. And I would say maybe by tomorrow or by the weekend, we back popping, by the weekend. But you did so much yesterday. I think we all did, just listening and sharing. We did so much that we're doing the work now, having these tough conversations because that's how we break ground.
You better. Go ahead.
And we getting new shirts too. Don't forget.
Oh, there are new shirts.
Merch on the way.
You know what? I think that was the icing on the cake, though. Creating and designing those shirts yesterday, I think that was it. I was done after those shirts. So I did create these new shirts called and so here's how we end up sabotaging ourselves sometimes, or we begin to present ourselves as imposters, right? So that shirt design or that shirt idea or that statement that's on the short shirt which says normalize depression has been in my notes since March, April-ish. It was actually before then, because those are shirts that I wanted to be available at the Empowerment Expo. Yes. Though that idea has been existing for a while. I'll say that first. For me, when my creative energy hits, I have to run with it and keep moving, because I don't know when it's going to remove itself, right? It's one thing to be able to be productive and things like that, but when your creative energy is actually present, you got to move with it. So yesterday, the creative energy was present, and I was finally able to carry out that idea of those shirts, and I'm very happy with how they look. But the guilty, or the side of me that is feeling guilt or feeling like an imposter or feeling like an opportunist, I think, is really what I'm alluding to. Is saying, oh, it now looks like you created this conversation just so you could sell shirts. No, that ain't it. But this is, so if we're having transparent moments, this is how the brain works sometimes. And that's just what it is. So no, the intent, not that I have to even explain that to anybody. The intent is not to sell the shirts. The intent is to continue the conversation. So I create shirts so we can continue the damn conversation. Normalize freaking depression and acknowledge it and stop trying to ignore it. Say when it is, say when it's happening, and keep moving with it. So buy the shirt so you could tell somebody, normalize it. But no, seriously, we do, we need to have these conversations. You put your foot in my hand, Aiden. I don't know what you expected. So here we are. Shout out to those on Facebook who are loving the community. I'm gonna drop the Facebook group link into this chat as well. One of the comments on Facebook says, so good, so many of us function well without actually feeling well. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, because then when do you ever feel like you're at 100%? And that is always my concern. If you're continuing to function at 30%, how do you, or continuing to function at 50, even 60, how do you ever feel good? Like, when do you actually ever feel good? So talking about shifting, change of sceneries and things like that, this is why it's so important to lean on your village, lean on those who support you and do things, because then you are coming together to create ideas on how to do things or what you can do differently. I hate beaches here in the US, but here I'm seeing some beautiful beaches in different places that I'm not going to publicize because I don't want everybody showing up. I don't want everybody to show up. I'll tell you after. But I want to go to the beach tomorrow. I'm planning to go to Philly, which I had no reason to go to Philly, but a friend wants me to go to Philly with her, so we're going to make it a day trip. So just gotta keep shifting gears and moving around, and I'll see Jersey on Thursday. So can you wait for crab legs until Thursday? Bam. See, that's how you do it, guys.
I had some last night.
You do it though. You have to plan it out. Like Taylor said, she was trying to fill her week and do all of these things. So Shauna, I know that you were saying that something Ty said resonated with you, or you felt seen. Do you want to speak to us on what that was? And welcome to the space. Hey, you made it.
Oh my God, thank you. So I'm like on doing a million things here, but hi ladies. Yes, I did. I'm just listening to my comment on I feel seen is for everybody. It was just for everyone's discussion. I was like, finally. But yes, I definitely I too battle with depression and anxiety, and definitely was after my second baby postpartum, it just went crazy. Like it's been a minute, but I think for me, I found that I had to prioritize myself more. Now I try to do walks, at least a 30-minute walk every day has helped tremendously. It's like the clarity and just being a lot more aware of like my triggers. So I know that for me, if I don't take the time out to organize myself, or like, I can't do last minute rushes, anything that's like throws me off my thing, just like a trigger for me. So this is one thing I think just learning to control the controllables and let go of what you can't. That has been working for me. Just control what I can control, and then everything else, just let it go. So that has helped a lot too. So, and just trying to find joy, like like you all mentioned, and trying to do the things that I have been going to the beach, Courtney. I did my walk Saturday on the beach. That has helped. And then just like trying to read the magazine, trying to read a book, trying to just take moments out for myself just helped a bit. So, and then, joining you ladies on these conversations like this, definitely feel like, it just makes me feel, because sometimes when you're in it, you feel like you're the only one, like you're the only one with the problem. You're the only one that's going through it. Yep. And I'm not saying it feels good that we all battling it. It feels good knowing that you're not the only one, thinking like that or dealing with that, and that there is, there's a community that has a conversation and helps normalize it. So, and I try to tell myself every day, I'm like, find the joy and try to like kind of stay out of that space. So it's, work in progress for everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sharon, Shauna, and that's the importance of this space. Really knowing that you're not alone. Mental health is so isolating. It can be so isolating, but it doesn't have to be. And the only reason why it has become that way is the stigma that has been associated with it. Tiffany, thank you for joining us. Welcome. So it's so nice to see you. And shout out to all of you who are on Facebook right now. Let's see what's going on in the comments over there. Did I read this one already? Oh, T said that is a very real feeling. I think most of us have experienced, especially when you care for people and you don't want to come across as profiting or exploiting people, but you gotta get to the bag anyway. Thank you for seeing me. And then my cousin said, this is so refreshing, uplifting, and motivating to hear we're not alone. Lord knows it takes a village. So it sure does. It sure does. Oh, Tiffany, you're T on Facebook. I just read T's comment, y'all. So thank you for coming into the chat. Welcome. Yanni, if you want to share, please come off of mute if you want.
Yeah, I actually do want to share. So you guys were talking about like leaning on your village, and when we were like analyzing are we lazy, or are we facing depression, or are we depressed? And so I started to think about like, so one, I live with my mom, and like the one thing she always haggles me about is like if she sees my room like messy and sloppy. And it's like the one thing she says first is, yo, you're being so lazy. And I'm like, so first I'm like already navigating being an adult and living with my mom. And like this outside view of like, hey, if this looks like that, that's because you're being lazy. And so then it comes to like this, well, I feel that it becomes like this internalized voice on why it is that I question myself on why I feel like I'm being lazy, because that is a voice that I've heard in my childhood and even still till now of, Annabelle, you're being lazy because this, that, and the third is unaccomplished, or this is looking like this. And so now when I start to see things like that, and I am feeling like, yo, I don't care. That's the one voice that I always hear is like, Annabelle, you're just being lazy. And then it becomes a place for me where I don't give myself that grace that I need. When I need that self-care. And so one of the things that has helped me is when I do seek out my village. So like, I know like in this past year, like Courtney, it was a hard one. And I remember it was like days that like, I just could not get out of bed. And I had to like, I reached out to my village and I'm like, yo, I can't, because the one thing that came to me was like, Annabelle, you're being lazy. But in reality, it was, I just can't, I don't have this space. I don't care. I don't have the space, and I gotta lay out here. And it was one of the most refreshing things for me that I felt, that was me just laying out there. And it was the whole day. It was the whole day. But then the next day it was like, okay, now I could go about and do, I felt much better if I didn't give myself that space there. And so leaning on my village and like texting my friends, they were able to help me identify like, yo, what you're feeling, it's okay. I was like, look, I cannot get out of bed right now. And they helped me to like disassociate this internalized voice that I was feeling of like, yo, you're just being lazy right now, Yannabelle. To, yo, that's totally normal. That's okay. Yo, do that for yourself. And it was like an encouraging space for me that I felt like I didn't have, like even for myself. So it was like that way to like be able to like see like, is this me being depressed or is this me being lazy? And they helped me to extract that, to not just only zone in on that you're just being lazy. And I think that place of me just being lazy is also because like you guys were mentioning yesterday, so I'm one of the people that listened yesterday on YouTube. So you guys were talking about like this sense of obligation and duty. And that's something that I usually feel. It's like I have this obligation and duty. I'm living with my mom, but I know that I am the main source of provision for us to like have this apartment and stuff like that. So that was something that like it could sometimes interfere with me giving myself that grace, or me giving me or doing something for me and not out of because I have to. So yeah, it's one of the main, that's just to like summarize, like one of the main things for me is like leaning on my village. And the second thing is like hiking. I find a sense of joy and like, yo, like you're killing your body physically. Like I went to Mount Tammany and that was crazy with all the rock scrabble. But I don't know, it's just like being on the top and then just staying there for a while, like not like going so quick to like, all right, I did this and then like let me go back down. It's just like just sitting there and like taking it all in. And like when I was there, this was like Saturday. When I was there Saturday, it was totally pure bliss because it was you're at the top and like you're living above the clouds. Like you literally saw the clouds hovering above. So it was just like that place of like, I'm gonna stay here and like I'm gonna enjoy this and I'm gonna be able to breathe. So yeah, those are like the two main things for me. The working out. So Taylor, I think I'm gonna take you up on that because like that also motivates me. Is that competition? So yeah, those are the main things, like moving my body and like really like having those communal spaces, which is why I was like, yeah. Courtney was like, yo, get on today. I'm like, you know what? Let me go on today. So yeah, that's just that's it.
Oh, no, mommy. Thank you for sharing, Annabelle. Those you really highlighted. Aiden, the timer is still on. You really highlighted the power of movement, the power of connecting, the importance of telling someone how you're feeling and actually leaning on people when you're in need. Because sometimes all we need is a little extra push to say, hey, no, it's okay for you to rest. We have to get in the habit of telling ourselves that as well and really going against that negative voice, but making sure that we are giving ourselves permission. And we talked about this maybe a month ago, giving ourselves permission to rest, giving ourselves permission to feel the feels, giving ourselves permission to get what we need. So I really love that. Can you be quiet and can you give me this? So thank you so much for highlighting those things. I visualized while you were talking about the damn mountaintop being up there too. So that's where I want to stay there. I want to stay there right now. Tiffany, I know you wanted to share.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I don't know how I ended up here, but I'm T on Facebook. I think it's because of Ty. I keep seeing these videos on her wall. But I just like, I like what's going on because I think of the space that I'm in. But Yannabelle, did I pronounce your name correctly? you started to talk about like asking for help. And for me, I think that's something that I always struggle with, especially when I'm in seasons that it's just, it's just hard. And for me, it's not a matter of am I being lazy, but like the reality is I'm just tired, right? Because it's been a season. And I don't know what you all ladies do for work, but like I work in a school, I'm an outpatient therapist. All of us are business owners, I heard talking, and it just gets to a point where it's a lot. And I think as much as I knew in my logic and like in my profession what it was that I was experiencing in this season, I had a lot of shame around admitting what I was feeling in this season, because it's like, girl, you supposed to know what to do to get past this. But COVID happened, life stressors happened, suffered like lots of loss like everybody. And I think it took me a while to really begin to articulate to my village like what I was feeling. But like once I started to say it, I just felt so much better. Like once I was honest about where I was, I just felt so much better. And I started to slowly but surely like finally ask for help, because just like Yanabelle talked about, not having energy to clean up and not wanting to get the house together, like I didn't feel like cooking. I didn't feel like cooking because I didn't want to clean. I didn't have the energy to do it. And I love cooking. Like anyone who knows me knows I cook almost every day. So when I noticed that I went like weeks without cooking, like the only time I was eating was when I was either out or ordering something or people were bringing me things, I recognized like, yo, I'm just too tired for that task. And I think it's okay for us to not only ask for help, but as life allows us to just start outsourcing stuff, because it's a lot of work to be a professional, be whatever you need to be in your personal space, whether it's a mom, wife, girlfriend, sister, brother, take care of all of the ins and outs of work and business, and then come home and still have to take care of yourself. And sometimes taking care of yourself means like you gotta outsource and hire some people to do it. So whether that is like a house cleaner or a laundry service or asking your friends to cook for you, or like if you're able to do it,
Facts.
whatever within your means, do it. But I also like recognize that when I ask for help and people help me, the fact that I know I am loved is really, really affirmed. Because sometimes I feel like, yo, I'm always the friend going through something. I'm always the friend who needs something. I'm always the friend that's managing a lot. And I'm like, I don't want to necessarily be a burden. But my tribe and my village always shows up for me. And I think that just affirms how loved I am. And I feel like as women, especially Black women, women of color, like we need that constant affirmation that like we're loved and we're loved in community. And much as other people do for us, like the same way your friends do for you when you're going through, it's probably the same way you show up for them when they're going through. So it's just about reciprocity and building community. So I think that's important. I don't think any of us are lazy. I think sometimes we have moments that just cause us to feel exhausted. And I know for a fact that exhaustion and burnout will lead to you feeling depressed. It's just a reality of the cycle and a reality of the disease. So we're not lazy. Like you go to work, you fed your kid, you fed your family, you paid your bills, and you didn't clean up. That's all you didn't do? That's not lazy, girl. That's tired. So that's all I was going to say.
I love it. 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 See, oh, y'all, this gives me energy. And I know I don't got it, but this gives me energy because I know I don't have it. Like I really want to go to sleep. And y'all hear what he's asking for over here. Mommy, can I get in the pool? Mommy, can I go ride the bike? Soon it's gonna be, mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I want to do this. Mommy, and I want to say no. I want to say no to all of it, except for him eating. He needs to eat. Like that needs to happen. But I want to say no. It's gotten to the point where he will get in the pool by himself and I'll sit by the pool. But I don't always have the energy to get in. It hurts my leg, it hurts my back. Like my body's getting old. I'm not old, but it's getting old, and I'm just.
Renee and I will come over.
I know you will. Like, it's like,
I was about to suggest the same thing. I was like, if y'all don't get it together, because them two together, they will entertain themselves.
But how? If you saw do you know what it's like to have to clean up after two equally active 3-year-olds?
the action figure in the wall.
If y'all want to talk about stress, I could do a whole episode on toddler stress alone. Just toddler stress. Just 3-year-old stress. 3-year-olds who have all the words.
In the wall? Like in
Those
the
two
wall?
vocabulary is ridiculous. Yes, the action was in the wall. There was a lot of how did that get there? But we digress. Okay. We've talked a lot today. Here's what's happening next. We're continuing these conversations all week. I didn't know we were going to have depression conversations all week. So let me just point out that Mariah has a set of twins. And I know she knows what that feels like. She's commenting on Facebook. Just saw her comment on Facebook. Yes, Raya, it does. It does. So tomorrow, hold on, I'm looking at my calendar because one of the things that I am struggling with right now as I am trying to come out of said, all right, tomorrow, please wait for me to send out a message. So hopefully y'all are available. I'm going to shoot for 9 o'clock because during the day I'm going to be in Philly and I'm going to Max's and I'm getting a cheesesteak because that's what I want. I'm getting a giant so I could eat it all week if I want to. A giant chicken cheesesteak with provolone cheese, extra mayo, hot peppers, salt, pepper, ketchup. Spent a lot of time in Philly, y'all, many years. So I'm going to Max's and I'm getting my cheesesteak and I'm carrying my mom's cheesesteak back too. But I'm gonna come to y'all on at 9 p.m. tomorrow. We're gonna use the same link. We're just gonna click at 9 p.m. tomorrow. And I'm gonna bring all of this energy because it's Wellness Wednesday tomorrow. We just have to like ground ourselves in that. And that'll be our test run of that time. That's gonna be our test run of the wind down time.
Ooh, we should do a workout.
We have class.
How about this, Taylor?
That might not be the actual time that Breaking Ground will shift to, but we're gonna try 9 p.m. tomorrow. Tiffany, if you can multitask and just have it on one of your screens, by all means, mute your class and just participate in the conversation because
that's what I'm doing right now. I have work on mute.
Yes, do what you gotta do. All the devices, you can have all the devices present at one time and just hit pause on one of them. But we're gonna continue this conversation because it does promote healing, it does promote community, it brings about the premise of community think in trying new things. I have seen so many people hiking since COVID started, and I know it was having positive effects on mental health. I was sitting outside in nature that didn't include like beach water, beautiful oceans, and for me, that's something. I was sitting in parks and stuff. I don't like parks like that unless he going to a playground. But outdoors has it's the sunlight, it's the fresh air, like it's getting outside, it's removing yourself from different environments that allows for you to have what you need. So I encourage you all to do like we've been talking about. Do something that brings you joy. This brings me joy. And y'all saw even my mood change during this last hour or so. It brings me joy, it energizes me, and it's taking away, when I'm talking about something that is actually happening, it takes away the prep work that has to go into bringing topics and conversation. So tomorrow, I hope that Fadia dropped a podcast episode from her, I think it's her space podcast. It's h.e.r. For those of you that are in the Facebook group, I'm going to drop it in there. For those of you who are not, it's in the Zoom chat here, and it's also in the Facebook comments of the video that is streaming live, and I will try and put it on the YouTube in the notes section. That is a podcast that I actually listen to regularly, and it is everything. So that's h.e.r space podcast, and they have uplifting conversations for I don't know what the rest of it says. But this most recent episode that Claudia was highlighting was manifesting your ideal life and transmuting energy.
Mm-hmm. And it talks about self-sabotaging, exactly what we talked about yesterday and today. And after we had the conversation and I went on it, I'm like, oh my God, we were literally just talking about the topic and the conversation. I was hooked. I listened to it till the end. It's really good. So I think you guys should definitely check it out. Especially if with the conversation we're having, and if you're feeling like this is what you're going through, I think it's a great, they were inspired.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, do it.
So I'm gonna encourage you to listen tomorrow or listen to that podcast. And even if you don't, we're gonna dive in because self-sabotage is going to keep coming up until we talk about it. So, and Joanne, I'm calling Sika and telling her. I'm gonna call Sika. She said this week was gonna be it. So shout out to all of you who have tuned into the conversation. I'm not letting Joanne off the hook for that one. I'm telling Sika, and I'm gonna make sure she's here.
It was a cute episode.
Sika might not be here because India. Okay, so Breaking Ground is worldwide, but India just banned Zoom because of China. So we having some issues.
She didn't hear this part.
She didn't hear this part, but I sent her the recording from yesterday, and guess what I'm sending her today.
Oh, but she can probably join through Facebook, maybe.
I'm gonna remind her to join through Facebook.
Oh, we miss her.
I know.
We miss you. Come back.
Come back, Tika.
I was wondering. I was like, where is she? She
hasn't been on. No, Tika.
We noticed if you're not a regular.
Yes, okay. So shout out to everyone who showed up today. We are here as best as we can be every day, as long as mental health provides, or as long as wellness provides, because sometimes we're prioritizing wellness in other areas, and that means that we gotta go, we gotta jet, we gotta do other things that bring us joy, fulfill those needs, things like that. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you are on the email list. Make sure you join the Facebook group. And make sure that you give yourself space and grace and rest. Time to reflect and dive in. I'm gonna get this nap somehow, some way today. So I'm gonna see y'all soon. Oh, before I let y'all go, I ordered. I don't know if I talked about this yesterday. I put it in Just Fab order because I had some points. This is me justifying it. I had some points that were racking up, or not points, credits to use. So I used those credits and ordered Just Fab, and then.
Ooh, what happened? She froze. She's frozen. We can't hear you. I think she's frozen. I don't think.
Yeah.
She's frozen. Yeah, she might not be able to come back. I don't know.
Well, I hope she does, because she's hosting today, so.
Mm-hmm.
Recording.
Sorry, her connection.
It held up for a long time today, though.
It did. There we go.
Oh,
I think
it goes. Jojo, you are the host now. Go ahead, Jojo, close us out.
Thank you guys for coming in. It's been an awesome conversation. I would tell you guys to be mindful of the space that we're in and return tomorrow with the new energy, new focus. Remember your principles. Remember your own love language. Practice your own love language. Stop putting it on other people. Okay? Spend quality time with your damn self. Okay? Physically touch your damn self. Okay? Buy yourself a present, Love on yourself some, so we can stop putting the pressure on other people to do so. And be great. Stay juicy.
And be gentle too.
That too.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't know. Zoom done kicked me out of my own meetings. So. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 9 p.m. I'm gonna set a reminder in my phone.
Take a nap. Steal a nap.
Go take a yes. Go rest.
I can't even take a nap because now I gotta facilitate.
Make us a new flyer.
Child, Damo needs to. I'm about to send all of these recordings to Damo because she done fell off the face of the earth and I miss her so much.
Yeah, we got to do a strong friend check-in.
Yes. Stop, Aiden. You're showing my wares. I'm not playing with you.
Oh.
No.
All right, ladies, it was great. I have to like run out.
Yes.
Bye,
See you.
Beautiful people on
Bye.
Facebook.
And
See
Taylor,
you.
I will send you a text because I can't get